All right, we are coming up on a little bit past 8 o'clock. So, let's settle in. Let's get comfortable. Grab a drink, grab a seat, and let's curl up with a good book tonight, shall we? Welcome back. This is our 6th night of reading from Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. Last time we've gotten through quite a bit, actually. Honestly, each of our nights we've made very good progress, and each time we peer a little bit deeper into Walt's soul, and each time we are seen with a reflection of the best of us, what we want and wish that we could be, the standard we could live up to. Open love, acceptance of others' love, optimism, hope for the future, idealism that is maybe a little unrealistic, but if you're not pushing an ideal, that's a short road to just being jaded and overly pragmatic, isn't it? So, at least in literature, when we lose ourselves on the page, we can be a little idealistic, can't we? So, with that, let's go ahead and get back to it, because I'm always up for a little bit of a good vibes. So, let's shift back over into our reading nook and see what we have ahead of us tonight with the rather... Well, okay, so we're going good vibes and we're starting off with tears. That's either a good sign or a bad sign. We'll have to see how it shakes out. So, Walt Whitman in Leaves of Grass. We are in Book 19, Tears. Tears, tears, tears. In the night, in solitude, tears. On the white shore dripping, dripping, sucked in by the sand, tears. Not a star shining, all dark and desolate, moist tears from the eyes of a muffled head. Oh, who is that ghost? That form in the dark with tears? What shapeless lump is that, bent, crouched there on the sand? Streaming tears, sobbing tears, throats choked with wild cries. Oh, storm, embodied, rising, careering, with swift steps along the beach. Oh, wild and dismal night storm, with wind, oh, belching and desperate. Oh, shade, so sedate and decorous by day, with calm countenance and regulated pace. But away at night as you fly, none looking, oh, then the unloosened ocean of tears, tears, tears. To the man of war bird. Thou who hast slept all night upon the storm, waking renewed on thy prodigious pinions, burst the wild storm? Above it thou ascendest, and rested on the sky thy slave that cradled thee. Now a blue point, far, far in heaven floating. As the light emerging here on deck, I watch thee, myself a speck, a point on the world's floating vast. Far, far at sea, after the night's fierce drift have strewn the shore with wrecks, with reappearing day is now so happy and serene. The rosy and elastic dawn, the flashing sun, the limpid spread of air cerulean. Thou also reappearest. Thou born to match the gale, thou art all wings, to cope with heaven and earth and sea and hurricane. Thou ship of air that never furlest thy sails. Days, even weeks, untired and onward through space's realms gyrating. At dusk thou look'st on Senegal, at morn America. that sportst amid the lightning flash and thunder cloud. In them, in thy experiences, hadst thou my soul. What joys were thine! Aboard at a ship's helm. Aboard at a ship's helm, a young steersman steering with care, through fog on a sea-coast dolefully ringing, an ocean bell, oh, a warning bell. Rocked by the waves, oh, you give good notice indeed. You bell by the sea reefs ringing, 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 to warn the ship from its wreck place. For as on the alert, O steersman, you mind the loud admonition, the bows turn, the freighted ship tacking speeds away under her grey sails, the beautiful and noble ship, with all her precious wealth, speeds away gaily and safe. But oh, the ship, the immortal ship, oh, ship aboard the ship, ship of the body, ship of the soul, voyaging. On the beach at night. On the beach at night stands a child with her father, watching the east, the autumn sky, up through the darkness, while ravening clouds, the burial clouds, in black masses spreading, lower sullen, and fast athwart and down the sky, amid a transparent clear belt of ether, yet left in the east, ascends large and calm the lord star Jupiter. And nigh at hand, only a very little above, swim the delicate sisters, the Pleiades. From the beach, the child holding the hand of her father, those burial clouds, the lower victorious, soon to devour all, watching, silently weeps. Weep not, my child, weep not, my darling. With these kisses let me remove your tears. The ravening clouds shall not long be victorious. They shall not long possess the sky. They devour the stars only in apparition. Jupiter shall emerge. Be patient. Watch again another night. Pleiades shall emerge. They are immortal. All those stars, both silvery and golden, shall shine out again. The great stars and the little ones shall shine out again. They endure. The vast immortal suns and the long enduring pensive moons shall shine again. Shall again shine. Then, dearest child, mournest thou only for Jupiter? Considerest thou alone the burial of the stars? Something there is, with my lips soothingly adding, I whisper, I give thee the first suggestion, the problem and indirection. Something there is more immortal even than the stars. Many the burials, many the days and nights passing away. Something that shall endure longer even than lustrous Jupiter. Longer than sun or any revolving satellite, or the radiant sisters the Pleiades. The world below the brine. The world below the brine. Forest at the bottom of the sea, the branches and leaves, sea lettuce, vast lichens, strange flowers and seeds, the thick tangle openings and pink turf. Different colors. Pale, grey and green, purple, white and gold, the play of light through the water. Dumb swimmers there among the rocks, coral, gluten, grass, rushes, and the aliment of the swimmers. Sluggish existences grazing there, suspended or slowly crawling close to the bottom. The sperm whale at the surface blowing air and spray, or disporting with his flukes the leaden-eyed shark. The walrus, the turtle, the hairy sea leopard, and the stingray. Passions there, wars, pursuits, tribes, sight in those ocean depths, breathing that thick breathing air, as so many do. The change thence to the sight here, and to the subtle air breathed by beings like us, who walk this sphere, the change onward from ours to that of beings who walk other spheres. On the beach at night, alone. On the beach at night, alone, as the old mother sways her to and fro, singing her husky song, as I watch the bright stars shining, I think a thought of the clef, of the universes, and of the future. A vast similitude interlocks all spheres, grown, ungrown, small, large, suns, moons, planets, all distances of place, however wide, all distances of time, all inanimate forms, all souls, all living bodies, though they be ever so different, or in different worlds, all gaseous, watery, vegetable, mineral processes, the fishes, the brutes, all nations, colors, barbarism, civilizations, languages, all identities that have existed or may exist on this globe, or any globe, all lives and deaths, all of the past, present, future, this vast similitude spans them, and always has spanned, and shall forever span them, and compactly hold and enclose them. Song for all seas, all ships. Today, a rude, brief recitative of ships sailing the seas, each with its special flag or ship signal, of unnamed heroes in the ships of waves, spreading and spreading far as the eye can reach, of dashing spray and the winds piping and blowing, and out of these a chant for the sailors of all nations, fitful like a surge, of sea captains young or old, and the mates, and of all intrepid sailors, of the few, very choice, taciturn, whom fate can never surprise nor death dismay, picked sparingly, without noise by thee, old ocean, chosen by thee, thou sea, that pickest and cullest the race in time, and unitest nations, suckled by thee, old husky nurse, embodying thee, indomitable, untamed as thee, ever the heroes on water or on land, by ones or twos appearing, ever the stock preserved and never lost, though rare, enough for seed preserved. Flaunt out, O sea, your separate flags of nations, flaunt out, visible as ever, the various ship signals, but do you reserve especially for yourself, and for the soul of man, one flag above all the rest, a spiritual, woven signal for all nations, emblem of man elate above death, token of all brave captains and all intrepid sailors and mates, and all that went down doing their duty. Reminiscent of them, twined from all intrepid captains young or old, a pennant universal, subtly waving all time o'er all brave sailors, all seas, all ships. Patrolling Barnaga. Wild, wild the storm and the sea high running, steady the roar of the gale with incessant undertone muttering, shouts of demoniac laughter fitfully piercing and pealing, waves ere midnight their savagest trinity lashing, out in the shadows their milk-white combs careering, on beachy slush and sand spirits of snow fierce slanting, where through the murk the easterly death wind breasting, through the cutting swirl and spray watchful and firm advancing, that in the distance is that a wreck? Is the red signal flaring, slush and sand of the beach tireless till daylight wending, steadily, slowly, through the hoarse roar, never remitting, along the midnight edge by those milk-white combs careering, a group of dim, weird forms struggling, the night confronting, that savage trinity warily watching. After the sea ship. After the sea ship, after the whistling winds, after the white-gray sails taut to their spars and ropes, below myriad waves hastening, lifting up their necks, tending in ceaseless flow toward the track of the ship. Waves of the ocean, bubbling and gurgling, blithely prying. Waves, undulating waves, liquid, uneven, emulous waves, toward that whirling current, laughing and buoyant, with curves where the great vessel sailing and tacking displaced the surface. Larger and smaller waves in the spread of the ocean yearnfully flowing. The wake of the sea ship, after she passes, flashing and frolicsome under the sun. A motley procession, with many a fleck of foam and many fragments, following the stately and rapid ship, in the wake following. That brings us to the end of Book 19 of The Sea, and into Book 20, By the Roadside. Boston Ballad, 1854. To get betimes in Boston town, I rose this morning early. Here a good place at the corner, I must stand and see the show. Clear the way there, Jonathan! Way for the President's marshal, way for the government cannon, way for the Federal foot and dragoons, and the apparitions copiously tumbling. I love to look on the stars and stripes. I hope the fifes will play Yankee Doodle. How bright shine the cutlasses of the foremost troops. Every man holds his revolver, marching stiff through Boston town. A fog follows, antiques of the same come limping. Some appear wooden-legged, and some appear bandaged and bloodless. Why, this indeed a show it has called the dead out of the earth. The old graveyards of the hills have hurried to see. Phantoms, phantoms countless by flank and rear. Cocked hats of mothy mold, crutches made of mist. Arms in slings, old men leaning on young men's shoulders. What troubles you, Yankee phantoms? What is all this chattering of bare gums? Does the ague convulse your limbs? Do you mistake your crutches for firelocks and level them? If you blind your eyes with tears, you will not see the President's marshal. If you groan such groans, you might balk the government cannon. For shame, old maniacs, bring down those tossed arms, and let your white hair be. Here. Gape. Your great-grandsons, their wives, gaze at them from the windows. See how well dressed. See how orderly they conduct themselves. Worse and worse, can't you stand it? Are you retreating, in this hour, with the living too dead for you? Retreat then, pell-mell, to your graves, back to the hills, old limpers. I do not think you belong here anyhow. But there is one thing that belongs here. Shall I tell you what it is, gentlemen of Boston? I will whisper it to the mayor. He shall send a committee to England. They shall get a grant from the Parliament. Go with a cart to the royal vault. Dig out King George's coffin. Unwrap him quick from the grave clothes. Box up his bones for a journey. Find a swift Yankee clipper. Here is freight for you, black-bellied clipper. Up with your anchor, shake out your sails. Steer straight toward Boston Bay. Now, call for the President's marshal again. Bring out the government cannon. Fetch home the roarers from Congress. Make another procession. Guard it with foot and dragoons. This centerpiece for them. Look, all orderly citizens, look from the windows, women. The committee open the box, set up the regal ribs, glue those that will not stay, clap the skull on top of the ribs, and clap a crown on top of the skull. You have got your revenge, old Buster. The crown has come to its own. and more than its own. Stick your hands in your pockets, Jonathan. You are a made man from this day. You are mighty cute, and here is one of your bargains. Europe, the 72nd and 73rd years of these states. Suddenly, out of its stale and drowsy lair, the lair of slaves, like lightning, it leapt forth, half startled at itself. Its feet upon the ashes and the rags, its hands tight to the throats of kings. Oh, hope and faith! Oh, aching close of exiled patriots' lives! Oh, many a sickened heart! Turn back unto this day and make yourselves afresh. And you, paid to defile the people, you liars, mock! Not for numberless agonies, murders, lusts, for court thieving in his manifold mean forms, worming from his simplicity the poor man's wages. For many a promise sworn by royal lips and broken and laughed at in the breaking. Then in their power, not for all these did the blows strike revenge, or the heads of the nobles fall. The people scorned the ferocity of kings. But the sweetness of mercy brewed bitter destruction, and the frightened monarchs come back, each time in state with his train, hangman, priest, tax gatherer, soldier, lawyer, lord, jailer, and sycophant. Yet behind all, lowering, stealing, lo, a shape, vague as the night, draped interminably, head, front, and form, in scarlet folds, whose face and eyes none may see. Out of its robes, only this, the red robes lifted by the arm, one finger crooked, pointed high over the top, like the head of a snake appears. Meanwhile, corpses lie in new-made graves, bloody corpses of young men. The rope of the gibbet hangs heavily. The bullets of princes are flying. The creatures of power laugh aloud. And all these things bear fruits, and they are good. Those corpses of young men, those martyrs that hang from the gibbets, those hearts pierced by the grey lead, cold and motionless as they seem live elsewhere with unslaughtered vitality. They live in other young men, O kings. They live in brothers again, ready to defy you. They were purified by death. They were taught and exalted. Not a grave of the murdered for freedom, but grows seed for freedom, in its turn to bear seed, which the winds carry afar and re-sow, and the rains and the snows nourish. Not a disembodied spirit can the weapons of tyrants let loose, but it stalks invisibly over the earth, whispering, counseling, cautioning, liberty. Let others despair of you. I never despair of you. Is the house shut? Is the master away? Nevertheless, be ready. Be not weary of watching. He will soon return. His messengers come anon. These last few are quite a bit more militant than we've seen, but it still harkens back to the patriotism that is at the root of Whitman. He still believes in the idea of America, that it can be a model for the world. It can be a shining beacon of liberty. We hadn't lost our way yet. Well, maybe we can get a little of that spirit back these days, at least on the proper side and depiction. A hand mirror. Hold it up sternly. See, this it sends back. Who is it? Is it you? Outside fair costume. Within ashes and filth. No more a flashing eye. No more a sonorous voice or springy step. Now some slave's eyes, voice, hands, step. A drunkard's breath. Unwholesome eater's face. Venerealese flesh. Lungs rotting away piecemeal, stomach sour and cankerous, joints rheumatic, bowels clogged with abomination, blood circulating dark and poisonous streams, words babble, hearing and touch callous, no brain, no heart left, no magnetism of sex. Such from one look in this looking-glass ere you go hence. Such a result so soon, and from such a beginning. Yeah, you can definitely tell that this is all this book in particular, this collection of poems is Whitman's life's work. He started it when he was young, well, young by our terms, he was in his early 30s, and kept going. It kept adding to it. And so we can see his demeanor change, his priorities, his emotions. And so even as we see him change, the reflected emotions come back and we can feel it ourselves. It's pretty powerful, honestly. Every day that we read this, it hits a little bit firmer, a little bit harder, a little bit more of a realization that this man was complicated, man of layers, as we all are, but he is very open about it. All right. Gods, lover divine and perfect comrade, waiting content, invisible yet, but certain, be thou my God. Thou the ideal man, fair, able, beautiful, content, and loving, complete in body and dilate in spirit. Be thou my God. O death, for life has served its turn. Opener and usher to the heavenly mansion, be thou my God. Aught of mightiest best I see, conceive, or know, to break the stagnant tie, thee to free, O soul, be thou my God. All great ideas, the race's aspirations, all heroisms, deeds of rapt enthusiasts, be ye my gods. Or time and space, or shape of earth divine and wondrous, or some fair shape I viewing worship, or lustrous orb of sun or star by night, be ye my gods. Germs. Yeah, exactly. We don't... Usually, the face we show the world, even those that we're comfortable with, is a prepared mask. Something that we're comfortable showing others. It's a slice out of the whole, with... Sure, there might be some layers within that slice, but it's a selected piece. So far, we've seen a fair bit more than a slice. We're working up to a wedge here of Whitman. We're about a hemisphere at this point. We're seeing deep into him and seeing how the striations come across. Germs. Forms, qualities, lives, humanity, language, thoughts. The ones known and the ones unknown. The ones on the stars themselves, some shaped, others unshaped. Wonders, as of those countries, the soil, trees, cities, inhabitants, whatever they may be. Splendid suns, the moons and rings, the countless combinations and effects. Such like, and as good as such like, visible here or anywhere, stand provided for a handful of space, which I extend my arm and half enclose with my hand, that containing the start of each and all, the virtuous, the germs of all. Thoughts of ownership, as if one fit to own things could not at pleasure enter upon all, and incorporate them into himself or herself. Of vistas, suppose some sight in arrière, through the formative chaos, presuming the growth, fullness, life now attained on the journey. But I see the road continued, and the journey ever continued. Of what was once lacking on earth, and in due time has become supplied, and of what will yet be supplied. Because all I see and know, I believe to have its main purport in what will yet be supplied. When I heard the learned astronomer... It's interesting, it's like a half poem here. When I heard the learned astronomer, when the roofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I, sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon, unaccountable, I became tired and sick. Till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself, in the mystical, moist night air, and from time to time looked up, in perfect silence, at the stars. Perfections. Only themselves understand themselves, and the like of themselves, as souls only understand souls. Oh me, oh life! Oh me, oh life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, of myself, forever reproaching myself, for who more foolish than I, and who more faithless? Of eyes that vainly crave the light, of the objects mean, of the struggle ever renewed, of the poor results of all, of the plodding and sordid crowds I see around me, of the empty and useless years of the rest, with the rest me intertwined, the question, oh me, so sad, recurring, what good amid these, oh me, oh life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists, and identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. To a president. All you are doing and saying is to America dangled mirages. You have not learned of nature, of the politics of nature. You have not learned the great amplitude, rectitude, impartiality. You have not seen that only such as they are for these states, and that what is less than they must sooner or later lift off from these states. Okay, so Whitman's got a little bit of a spunk to him. It's not all optimism. He's got a bit of a backbone to him when he needs it. I sit and look out. I sit and look out upon all the sorrows of the world, and upon all oppression and shame. I hear secret convulsive sobs from young men at anguish with themselves, remorseful after deeds done. I see in low life the mother misused by her children, dying, neglected, gaunt, desperate. I see the wife misused by her husband. I see the treacherous seducer of young women. I mark the ranklings of jealousy and unrequited love attempted to be hid. I see these sights on the earth. I see the workings of battle, pestilence, tyranny. I see martyrs and prisoners. I observe a famine at sea. I observe the sailors casting lots, who shall be killed to preserve the lives of the rest. I observe the slights and degradation cast by arrogant persons upon laborers, the poor, and upon negroes, and the like. All these, all the meanness and agony without end, I sitting out, look out upon, see, hear, and am silent. It is hard to speak up sometimes. To rich givers. What you give me, I cheerfully accept. A little sustenance, a hut and garden, a little money as I rendezvous with my poems. Traveler lodging and breakfast as journeying through the states. Why should I be ashamed to own such gifts? Why to advertise for them? For I myself am not one who bestows nothing upon man and woman. For I bestow upon any man or woman the entrance to all the gifts of the universe. The dalliance of the eagles. Skirting the river road, my forenoon walk, my rest. Skyward in air, a sudden muffled sound. The dalliance of the eagles, the rushing, amorous contact high in space together, the clinching, interlocking claws, a living, fierce, gyrating wheel, four beating wings, two beaks, a swirling mass, tight grappling, in tumbling, turning, clustering loops, straight downward falling, till o'er the river poised the twain, yet one, a moment's lull, a motionless, still balance in the air, then parting. Talons loosen, upward again on slow, firm pinions slanting, their separate diverse flight, she hers, he his, pursuing. Roaming in thought, after reading Hegel. Roaming in thought over the universe, I saw the little that is good steadily hastening towards immortality, and the vast all that is called evil I saw hastening to merge itself and become lost and dead. A font picture. Through the ample open door of the peaceful country barn, a sunlit pasture, field with cattle and horses feeding, and haze and vista, and the far horizon fading away. A child's amaze. Silent and amazed even when a little boy. I remember I heard the preacher every Sunday put God in his statements as contending against some being or influence. The runner. These are all very short, okay. On a flat road runs the well-trained runner. He is lean and sinewy with muscular legs. He is thinly clothed. He leans forward as he runs, with lightly closed fists and arms partially raised. Beautiful women. Women sit or move to and fro, some old, some young. The young are beautiful, but the old are more beautiful than the young. Mother and babe. I see the sleeping babe nestling the breast of its mother. The sleeping mother and babe hushed. I study them long and long. Thought of obedience, faith, adhesiveness. As I stand aloof and look, there is to me something profoundly affecting in large masses of men following the lead of those who do not believe in men. That is profoundly affecting. Yes. That is something that's never really changed, is it? Visored. A mask. A perpetual, natural disguiser of herself. Concealing her face, concealing her form, changes and transformations every hour, every moment, falling upon her even when she sleeps. Thought of justice, as if could be anything but the same ample law, expounded by natural judges and saviors, as if it might be this thing or that thing according to decisions. gliding o'er all. Gliding o'er all through nature, time and space, as a ship on the waters advancing, the voyage of the soul, not life alone, death, many deaths I'll sing. Hast never come to thee an hour? Hast never come to thee an hour, a sudden gleam divine, precipitating, bursting all these bubbles, fashions, wealth? These eager business aims, books, politics, art, amours, utter nothingness? Thoughts of equality, as if it harmed me, giving others the same chances and rights as myself, as if it were not indispensable to my own rights and others possess the same. Okay, that is a lesson that people still have trouble learning. Equality doesn't hurt you by raising others to be your equal. No! No! It's the greater good. Sure, to the privileged, equality might feel like oppression, but get fucked. Sorry, grow up. To old age. I see in you the estuary that enlarges and spreads itself grandly as it pours to the great sea. I like that. That's usually we look at aging as, yeah, sure, you're getting wiser or slowing down and stopping to see things a little bit more often. This is a good way to put it. That's a good way to view aging and growing into oneself. Spread yourself grandly as it pours into the great sea. Locations and times. Locations and times. What is it in me that meets them all? Whatever and wherever, and makes me at home? Forms, colors, densities, odors, what? What is it in me that corresponds with them? Offerings. 1,000 perfect men and women appear. Around each gathers a cluster of friends, and gay children and youths with offerings. To the states, to identify the 16th, 17th, or 18th presidentiad. That's a bit of a stretch, at 16th, 17th, or 18th. Why? You know what, now I gotta look. Because I'm not that much of a history buff. Lincoln, Johnson, and Grant. 16, 17, 18. Okay. Why reclining, interrogating? Why myself and all drowsing? What deepening twilight scum floating atop of the waters? Who are they as bats and night dogs askant in the capital? What a filthy presidentiad! Oh, south, your torrid suns! Oh, north, your arctic freezings! Are those really congressmen? Are those the great judges? Is that the president? Then I will sleep a while yet, for I see that these states sleep for reasons. With gathering murk, with muttering thunder and lambent shoots, we all duly awake. North, south, east, west, inland and seaboard, we will surely awake. Book 21. So the book 20 was the road. So basically just as he's wandering around and the musings and observations that he makes. Drum Taps is a little ominous of a title, given the previous commentary. So book 21, Drum Taps. First, O songs for a prelude. First, O songs for a prelude, lightly strike on the stretched tympanum pride and joy in my city. You know what? I don't think that I've ever heard the non-plural form of tympanum, the timpani drums, the set where they're the different pitches and timbres. I've never heard it just called with just one. Okay. How she led the rest to arms. How she gave the cue. How at once with lithe limbs unwaiting a moment she sprang. Oh, superb. Oh, Manhattan, my own, my peerless. Oh, strongest you in the hour of danger, in crisis, oh, truer than steel. How you sprang, how you threw off the costumes of peace with indifferent hand, how your soft opera music changed, and the drum and fife were heard in their stead, how you led to the war that shall serve for our prelude songs of soldiers, how Manhattan drum taps led. 40 years had I in my city seen soldiers parading, 40 years as a pageant, till unawares the lady of this teeming and turbulent city, sleepless amid her ships, her houses, her incalculable wealth, with her million children around her, suddenly, at dead of night, at news from the south, incensed, struck with clenched hand the pavement. A shock electric, the night sustained it, till, with ominous hum, our hive at daybreak poured out of its myriads. From the houses then in the workshops, and through all the doorways, leapt they tumultuous, and lo, Manhattan arming. To the drum taps prompt, the young men falling in and arming, the mechanics arming, the trowel, the jack-plane, the blacksmith's hammer, tossed aside with precipitation, the lawyer leaving his office and arming, the judge leaving the court, the driver deserting his wagon in the street, jumping down, throwing the reins abruptly down on the horses' backs, the salesman leaving the store, the boss, bookkeeper, porter, all leaving. Squads gather everywhere by common consent and arm. The new recruits, even boys, the old men show them how to wear their accoutrements. They buckle the straps carefully. Outdoors arming, indoors arming, the flash of the musket barrels, the white tents cluster in camps, the armed sentries around, the sunrise cannon, and again at sunset. Armed regiments arrive every day, pass through the city, and embark from the wharves. How good they look as they tramp down to the river, sweaty with their guns on their shoulders. How I love them! How I could hug them with their brown faces and their clothes and knapsacks covered with dust. The blood of the city up armed, the cry everywhere. The flags flung out from the steeples of churches and from all the public buildings and stores, the tearful parting. The mother kisses her son, the son kisses his mother. Loath is the mother to part, yet not a word does she speak to detain him. The tumultuous escort, the ranks of policemen proceeding, clearing the way, the unpent enthusiasm. The wild cheers of the crowd for their favorites, the artillery, the silent cannons, bright as gold, drawn along, rumble slightly over the stones. Silent cannons, soon to cease your silence, soon unlimbered to begin the red business. All the matter of preparation, all the determined arming, the hospital service, the lint, bandages, and medicines, the women volunteering for nurses, the work begun for in earnest. No mere parade now. War. An armed race is advancing, no welcome for battle, no turning away. War! Be it weeks, months, or years, an armed race is advancing to welcome it. Manhattan, a march, and it's oh to sing it well. It's oh for a manly life in the camp. And the sturdy artillery, the guns, bright as gold, the work for giants. To serve well the guns, unlimber them, no more is the post past 40 years for salutes, for courtesies merely, but in something now besides powder and wadding. And you, lady of ships, you, Manhattan, old matron of this proud, friendly, turbulent city. Often in peace and wealth you were pensive or covertly frowned amid all your children, but now you smile with joy exulting, old Manhattan. I will say, whenever we read something that is in the vicinity of the 1860s, I usually have an idea of the leadings of the author, the characters, etc. So it's usually not a surprise. But it is certainly a comfort when the author comes out on the correct side of things. So when things break out and we have someone who is saying, "Praise be to the North, praise be to these Manhattan soldiers in their good and proper responses," it's like, okay. Whew. Alright, we got about 3 minutes till ad. We can get through at least one, maybe two, depending on the length of these. 1861. Armed year. Year of the struggle. No dainty rhymes or sentimental love verses for you, terrible year. Not you as some pale poetling, seated at a desk lisping cadenzas piano, but as a strong man erect, clothed in blue clothes, advancing, carrying a rifle on your shoulder, with well-gristled body and sunburnt face and hands, with a knife in the belt at your side. As I heard you shouting loud, your sonorous voice ringing across the continent, your masculine voice, O year, as rising amid the great cities, amid the men of Manhattan, I saw you as one of the workmen, the dwellers in Manhattan, or with large steps crossing the prairies out of Illinois and Indiana, rapidly crossing the west with springy gait and descending the Alleghanies, or down from the Great Lakes or in Pennsylvania, or on the deck along the Ohio River, or southward along the Tennessee or Cumberland rivers, or at Chattanooga on the mountain top. Saw I your gait, and saw I your sinewy limbs, clothed in blue, bearing weapons, robust year. Heard your determined voice launched forth again and again, year that suddenly sang by the mouths of the round-lipped cannon. I repeat you, hurrying, crashing, sad, distracted year. Beat, beat drums, beat, beat drums, blow, bugles blow, through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force into the solemn church and scatter the congregation into the school where the scholar is studying. Leave not the bridegroom quiet, no happiness must he have now with his bride, nor the peaceful farmer any peace, ploughing his field or gathering his grain. So fierce you were, and pound you drums, so shrill you bugles blow. Beat, beat drums, blow, bugles blow. Over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets, are beds prepared for sleepers at night in the houses. No sleepers must sleep in those beds. No bargainers' bargains by day. No brokers or speculators. Would they continue? Would the talkers be talking? Would the singer attempt to sing? Would the lawyer rise in the court to state his case before the judge? Then rattle quicker, heavier drums, you bugles, wilder blow. Beat, beat drums, blow, bugles blow. Make no parley, stop for no expostulation. Mind not the timid, mind not the weeper or prayer. Mind not the old man beseeching the young man. Let not the child's voice be heard, nor the mother's entreaties. Make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie, awaiting the hearses. So strong you thump, O terrible drums, so loud you bugles blow. All right, we've got an ad just about to start, so let's take the chance to de-escalate a little, because there's been some tension in these last few, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Take a moment, stand up, stretch your legs, top up your drinks, and we'll be back after this. All right, we are back. So, this book is a rather stark divergence. Kind of saw it coming based on the timing and the evolution as we've gone through, but we're not into, or like we still have the optimistic view. We have the tempered patriotism going on. We've got the idealism that Whitman is pretty well known for, but we're getting into the point where these were hard times. And so it's expected for tones to change. You can't just have all sunshine and rainbows all the time. That's not how life works. And this book is a distillation of Walt Whitman's life, his observations, his thoughts, his feelings. So, let's continue to dig into this, and we'll see how his continued reaction and under his distilled feelings coming through the Civil War and the conflict continue. If Zoe will let us, she keeps yelling at me in the background. From Palmanock, starting, I fly like a bird. From Palmanock starting, I fly like a bird, around and around, to soar, to sing, the idea of all. To the north betaking myself to sing their Arctic songs, to Canada, till I absorb Canada in myself, to Michigan then, to Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, to sing their songs. They are inimitable. Then to Ohio and Indiana to sing theirs, to Missouri and Kansas and Arkansas to sing theirs, to Tennessee and Kentucky, to the Carolinas and Georgia to sing theirs, to Texas and so along up toward California, to Rome accepted everywhere. To sing first, to the top of the war drum if need be, the idea of all, of the Western world, one and inseparable, and then the song of each member of these states. Song of the Banner at Daybreak. The poet. Oh, a new song, a free song, flapping, 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 flapping by sounds, by voices clearer, by the wind's voice and that of the drum, by the banner's voice and the child's voice and the sea's voice and the father's voice, low on the ground and high in the air, on the ground where father and child stand in the upward air, where their eyes turn, where the banner at daybreak is flapping. Words, book words, what are you? Words no more. For hearken and see, my song is there in the open air, and I must sing. With the banner and pennant a-flapping, I'll weave the cord and twine in man's desire and babe's desire. I'll twine them in. I'll put in life. I'll put the bayonet's flashing point. I'll let bullets and slugs whiz as one carrying a symbol and menace far into the future. Crying with trumpet voice, arouse and beware, beware and arouse. I'll pour the verse with streams of blood, full of volition, full of joy. They loosen, launch forth to go and compete with the banner and pennant a-flapping. Pennant, come up here. Bard, bard, come up here. Soul, soul, come up here. Dear little child, to fly in the clouds and winds with me, and play with the measureless light. The child, Father, what is that in the sky, beckoning to me with the long finger? And what did it say to me all the while? And the father, nothing, my babe, you will see in the sky, and nothing at all to you it says, but look you, my babe, look at these dazzling things in the houses, and see you the money shops opening, and see you the vehicles preparing to crawl along the streets with goods. These, these, how valued and toiled for these, how envied by all the earth. Poet, fresh and rosy red the sun is mounting high, on floats the sea, a distant blue careering through its channels. On floats the wind over the breast of the sea, setting in toward land. The great steady wind from west or west by south, floating so buoyant with milk-white foam on the waters. But I am not the sea, nor the red sun. I am not the wind with girlish laughter, not the immense wind which strengthens, not the wind which lashes, not the spirit that ever lashes its own body to terror and death. But I am that which, unseen, comes and sings, 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 which babbles in brooks and scoots in showers on the land, which the birds know in the woods mornings and evenings, and the shore sands know, and the hissing wave, and that banner and pennant aloft there flapping and flapping. Oh, Father, it is alive! It is full of people! It has children! Oh, now it seems to me it is talking to its children. I hear it. It talks to me! Oh, it is wonderful! Oh, it stretches, it spreads, and runs so fast! Oh, my Father! It is so broad it covers the whole sky. Cease, cease, my foolish babe. What you are saying is sorrowful to me, much displeases me. Behold, with the rest again I say, behold, not banners and pennants aloft, but the well-prepared pavements. Behold, and mark the solid-walled houses. Speak to the child, O bard, out of Manhattan. To our children all, or north or south of Manhattan, point this day, leaving all the rest to us over all, and yet we know not why. For what are we? Mere strips of cloth, profiting nothing, only flapping in the wind. I hear and see not strips of cloth alone.
I hear the tramp of armies. I hear the challenging sentry. I hear the jubilant shouts of millions of men. I hear liberty. I hear the drums beat and the trumpets blowing. I myself move abroad and swift rising, flying then. I use the wings of the land bird and use the wings of the seabird and look down as from a height. I do not deny the precious results of peace. I see populous cities with wealth incalculable. I see numberless farms. I see the farmers working in their fields or barns. I see mechanics working. I see buildings everywhere founded, going up or finished. I see trains of cars swiftly speeding along railroad tracks drawn by the locomotives. I see the stores, depots of Boston, Baltimore, Charleston, New Orleans. I see far in the west the immense area of grain. I dwell a while hovering. I pass to the lumber forests of the north, and again to the southern plantation, and again to California. Sweeping the whole, I see the countless profit, the busy gatherings, earned wages, see the identity formed out of 38 spacious and haughty states, and many more to come. See forts on the shores of harbors, see ships sailing in and out, then over all, I, my little and lengthened pennant shaped like a sword, runs swiftly up and indicating war and defiance. And now the halyards have raised it, side of my banner broad and blue, side of my starry banner, discarding peace over all the sea and land. Yet louder, higher, stronger barred, yet farther, wider cleave. No longer let our children deem us riches and peace alone. We may be terror and carnage, and are so now. Not now are we any one of these spacious and haughty states, nor any 5, nor 10, nor market, nor depot we, nor money bank in the city, but these and all, and the brown and spreading land, and the mines below are ours. And the shores of the sea are ours, and the rivers great and small, and the fields they moisten, and the crops and the fruits are ours. Bays and channels and ships sailing in and out are ours, while we over all, over the area spread below, the 3 or 4 millions of square miles, the capitals, the 40 millions of people, O bard, in life and death supreme we, even we, henceforth flaunt and outmasterful high up above, not for the present alone, for 1,000 years chanting through you, this song to the soul of one poor little child. My father, I like not the houses. They will never to me be anything. Nor do I like money, but to mount up there I would like. Oh, father dear, that banner I like, that pennant I would be and must be.
Child of mine, you fill me with anguish. To be that pennant would be too fearful. Little you know what it is this day, and after this day forever. It is to gain nothing, but risk and defy everything. Forward to stand in front of wars, and oh, such wars! What have you to do with them? With passions of demons, slaughter, premature death. Demons and death, then I sing. Put in all will I, sword-shaped pennant for war, and in a pleasure new and ecstatic, and the prattled yearning of children, blent with the sounds of the peaceful land, and the liquid wash of the sea, and the black ships fighting on the sea enveloped in smoke, and the icy cool of the far, far north, with rustling cedars and pines, and the whir of drums, and the sound of soldiers marching, and the hot sun shining south, and the beach waves combing over the beach on my eastern shore, and my western shore the same, and all between these shores, and my ever-running Mississippi with bends and chutes, and my Illinois fields, and my Kansas fields, and my fields of Missouri, the continent, devoting the whole identity without preserving an atom. Pour in, whelm that which asks, which sings with all and the yield of all, fusing and holding, claiming, devouring the whole. No more with tender lip nor musical labial sound, but out of the night emerging for good. Our voice persuasive, no more croaking like crows here in the wind. My limbs, my veins dilate, my theme is clear at last. Banner so broad advancing out of the night, I sing you haughty and resolute.
I burst through where I waited long, too long, deafened and blinded, my hearing and tongue are come to me, a little child taught me. I hear from above, O pennant of war, your ironical call and demand. Insensate, insensate, yet I at any rate chant you, O banner. Not houses of peace indeed are you, nor any, nor all their prosperity. If need be, you shall again have every one of those houses to destroy them. You thought not to destroy those valuable houses, standing fast, full of comfort, built with money. May they stand fast, then? Not an hour except you above them, and all stand fast. O banner, not money so precious are you, not farm produce you, nor the material good nutriment, nor excellent stores, nor landed on wharves from the ships, nor the superb ships with sail power or steam power, fetching and carrying cargoes, nor machinery, vehicles, trade, nor revenues, but you, as henceforth I see you, running up out of the night, bringing your cluster of stars, ever enlarging stars, divider of daybreak, you, cutting the air, touched by the sun, measuring the sky, passionately seen and yearned for by one poor little child, while others remain busy or smartly talking, forever teaching thrift. Oh, you up there, O pennant, where you undulate like a snake, hissing, so curious. Out of reach, an idea only, yet furiously fought for, risking bloody death, loved by me. So loved, oh, you banner, leading the day with stars brought from the night, valueless, object of eyes over all, and demanding all, absolute owner of all, O banner and pennant! I too leave the rest, great as it is. It is nothing, houses, machines are nothing, I see them not. But I see but you, O warlike pennant, O banner so broad with stripes, sing you only, flapping up there in the wind.
Getting kind of toasty in here.
Rise, O days, from your fathomless deeps. Rise, O days, from your fathomless deeps, till you loftier, fiercer sweep. Long for my soul hungering gymnastic I devoured what the earth gave me. Long I roamed amid the woods of the north, long I watched Niagara pouring, I traveled the prairies over and slept on their breast. I crossed the Nevadas, I crossed the plateaus. I ascended the towering rocks along the Pacific, I sailed out to sea. I sailed through the storm, I was refreshed by the storm. I watched with joy the threatening maws of the waves. I marked the white combs where they careered so high, curling over. I heard the wind piping, I saw the black clouds, saw from below what arose and mounted, oh, superb! Oh, wild as my heart, and powerful! Heard the continuous thunder as it bellowed after the lightning, noted the slender and jagged threads of lightning as sudden and fast amid the din they chased each other across the sky. These and such as these, I, elate, saw with wonder, yet pensive and masterful. All the menacing might of the globe uprisen around me. Yet there, with my soul I fed content, supercilious. 'Twas well, O soul, 'twas a good preparation you gave me. Now we advance our latent and ampler hunger to fill. Now we go forth to receive what the earth and the sea never gave us. Not through the mighty woods we go, but through the mightier cities. Something for us is pouring now more than Niagara pouring. Torrents of men, sources and rills of the northwest, are you indeed inexhaustible? What? To pavements and homesteads here, what were those storms of the mountains and sea? What, to passions I witness around me today, was the sea risen?
Was the wind piping the pipe of death under the black clouds? Lo! From deeps more unfathomable, something more deadly and savage. Manhattan rising, advancing with menacing front, Cincinnati, Chicago unchained. What was that I saw? What was that swell I saw on the ocean? Behold, what comes here, how it climbs with daring feet and hands, how it dashes, how the true thunder bellows after the lightning, how bright the flashes of lightning, how democracy, with desperate vengeful port, strides on, shone through the dark by those flashes of lightning. Yet a mournful wail and low sob I fancied I heard through the dark, in a lull of the deafening confusion. Thunder on, stride on, O democracy! Strike with vengeful stroke, and do you rise higher than ever yet, O days, O cities! Crash heavier, heavier yet, O storms, and you've done me good. My soul, prepared in the mountains, absorbs your immortal, strong nutriment. Long had I walked my cities, my country roads through farms, only half satisfied. One doubt, nauseous, undulating like a snake, crawled on the ground before me, continually preceding my steps, turning upon me oft, ironically hissing low. The cities I loved so well, I abandoned and left. I sped to the certainties suitable to me, hungering for primal energies and nature's dauntlessness. I refreshed myself with it only. I could relish it only. I waited the bursting forth of the pent fire on the water and air, waited long. But now I no longer wait. I am fully satisfied. I am glutted. I have witnessed the true lightning. I have witnessed my city's electric. I have lived to behold man burst forth and warlike America rise. Hence I will seek no more the food of the northern solitary wilds, no more the mountains roam or sail the stormy sea. Virginia, the West. The West? Walt, are you confused? Have you seen a map, Walt? Just tell me true. It's all right if you don't know your directions. It's fine. Okay. Virginia, the West. The noble sire fallen on evil days. Okay, he's talking about West Virginia, where it finally split, because it was one Virginia for a long time. Okay, I won't mock you much. The noble sire fallen on evil days. I saw with hand uplifted, menacing, brandishing memories of old in abeyance, love and faith in abeyance. The insane knife toward the mother of all. The noble son, on sinewy feet advancing, I saw, out of the land of prairies, land of Ohio's waters and of Indiana. To the rescue the stalwart giant hurry his plenteous offspring, dressed in blue, bearing their trusty rifles on their shoulders. Then the mother of all, with calm voice speaking, as to you rebellious, I seem to hear her say, why strive against me, and why seek my life, when you yourself forever provide to defend me? For you provided me Washington, and now these also. City of Ships. City of Ships! Oh, the black ships! Oh, the fierce ships! Oh, the beautiful, sharp-bowed steamships and sail ships. City of the world! For all races are here. All the lands of the earth make contributions here. City of the sea. city of hurried and glittering tides, city whose gleeful tides continually rush or recede, whirling in and out with eddies and foam. City of wharves and stores, city of tall facades of marble and iron. Proud and passionate city, meddlesome, mad, extravagant city. Spring up, O city, not for peace alone, but be indeed yourself warlike. Fear not, submit to no models but your own, O city. Behold me, incarnate, me, as I have incarnated you, incarnate me. I have rejected nothing you offered me. Whom you adopted, I have adopted. Good or bad, I never question you. I love all. I do not condemn anything. I chant and celebrate all that is yours, yet peace no more. In peace I chanted peace, but now the drum of war is mine. War, red war is my song through your streets, O city. The Centenarian's Story. Volunteer of 1861 to 2 at Washington Park, Brooklyn, assisting the centenarian. Give me your hand, old revolutionary. The hilltop is nigh but a few steps. Make room, gentlemen. Up the path you followed me well, spite of your 100 and extra years. You can walk, old man, though your eyes are almost done. Your faculties serve you, and presently I must have them serve me. Rest, while I tell what the crowd round us means. On the plain below, recruits are drilling and exercising. There is the camp. One regiment departs tomorrow. Do you hear the officers giving their orders? Do you hear the clank of the muskets? Why, what comes over you now, old man? Why do you tremble and clutch my hand so convulsively? The troops are but drilling. They are yet surrounded with smiles. Around them at hand the well-dressed friends and the women, while splendid and warm the afternoon sun shines down. Green the midsummer verdure, and fresh blows the dallying breeze. O'er proud and peaceful cities, an arm of the sea between. But drill and parade are over. They march back to quarters. Only hear that approval of hands! Hear what a clapping! As wending the crowds now part and disperse, but we, old man, not for nothing have I brought you hither. We must remain. You to speak in your turn, and I to listen and tell. The Centenarian. When I clutched your hand, it was not with terror, but suddenly pouring about me here on every side, and below there where the boys were drilling, and up the slopes they ran, and where tents are pitched, and wherever you see south and southeast and southwest, over hills, across lowlands, and in the skirts of woods, and along the shores, in mire now filled over, came again, and suddenly raged, as 85 years agone, no mere parade received with applause of friends, but a battle, which I took part in myself. Aye, long ago as it is, I took part in it, walking then this hilltop, this same ground. Aye, this is the ground. My blind eyes, even as I speak, behold it repeopled from graves. The years recede, pavements and stately houses disappear. Rude forts appear again. The old hooped guns are mounted. I see the lines of raised earth stretching from river to bay. I mark the vista of waters. I mark the uplands and slopes. Here we lay encamped. It was this time in summer also. As I talk, I remember all. I remember the declaration. It was read here. The whole army paraded. It was read to us here. By his staff, surrounded, the general stood in the middle. He held up his unsheathed sword. It glittered in the sun, in full sight of the army. It was a bold act then,
The British warships had just arrived. We could watch down the lower bay where they lay at anchor, and the transports swarming with soldiers. A few days more, and they landed, and then the battle. 20,000 were brought against us, a veteran force furnished with good artillery. I tell not now the whole of the battle, but one brigade early in the forenoon ordered forward to engage the redcoats. Of that brigade I tell, and how stealthily it marched, how long and well it stood, confronting death. Why do you think that was marching steadily who do you think that was marching steadily, sternly confronting death? It was the brigade of the youngest men, 2,000 strong, raised in Virginia and Maryland, and most of them known personally to the general. Jauntily forward they went with quick step toward Gowanus's waters, till, of a sudden, unlooked for by defiles through the woods, gained at night, the British advancing, rounding in from the east, fiercely playing their guns. That brigade of the youngest was cut off, and at the enemy's mercy. The general watched them from this hill. They made repeated desperate attempts to burst their environment, then drew close together, very compact, their flag flying in the middle. But oh, from the hills how the cannon were thinning and thinning them. It sickens me yet, that slaughter. I saw the moisture gather in drops on the face of the general. I saw how he wrung his hands in anguish. Meanwhile, the British maneuvered to draw us out for a pitched battle, but we dared not trust the chances of a pitched battle. We fought the fight in detachments. Sallying forth, we fought at several points, but in each the luck was against us. Our foe, advancing steadily, getting the best of it, pushed us back to the works on this hill, till we turned, menacing here, and then he left us. That was the going out of the brigade of the youngest men, 2,000 strong. Few returned. Nearly all remain in Brooklyn. That, and here, my general's first battle. No women looking on, nor sunshine to bask in. It did not conclude with applause. Nobody clapped hands here then. But in darkness, in mist on the ground under a chill rain, wearied that night, we lay foiled and sullen, while scornfully laughed many an arrogant lord off against us encamped, quite within hearing, feasting, clinking wine glasses together over their victory. So dull and damp, and another day, but the night of that, mist lifting, rain ceasing, silent as a ghost, while they thought they were sure of him, my general retreated. I saw him at the riverside, down by the ferry lit by torches, hastening the embarkation. My general waited till the soldiers and wounded were all passed over, and then, it was just ere sunrise, these eyes rested on him for the last time. Everyone else seemed filled with gloom. Many, no doubt, thought of capitulation. But when my general passed me, as he stood in his boat and looked toward the coming sun, I saw something different from capitulation.
Enough. The centenarian story ends. The two, the past and present, have interchanged. I myself, as connector, as chansonnier of a great future, am now speaking. And is this the ground Washington trod? And these waters I listlessly daily cross, are these the waters he crossed, as resolute in defeat as other generals in their proudest triumphs? I must copy the story and send it eastward and westward. I must preserve that look as it beamed on you rivers of Brooklyn. See, as the annual round returns, the phantoms return. It is the 27th of August. and the British have landed. The battle begins and goes against us. Behold, through the smoke, Washington's face. The brigade of Virginia and Maryland have marched forth to intercept the enemy. They are cut off. Murderous artillery from the hills plays upon them. Rank after rank falls, while over them silently droops the flag, baptized that day in many a young man's bloody wounds, in death, defeat, and sisters, mother's tears. Ah, hills and slopes of Brooklyn, I perceive you are more valuable than your owners supposed. In the midst of you stands an encampment very old, stands forever the camp of that dead brigade. Cavalry crossing a ford. A line in long array, where they wind betwixt green islands. They take a serpentine course. Their arms flash in the sun. Hark to the musical clank! Behold the silvery river. In it the splashing horses loitering stop to drink. Behold the brown-faced men, each group, each person a picture. The negligent rest on the saddles. Some emerge on the opposite bank. Others are just entering the ford, while, scarlet and blue and snowy white, the Guidon flags flutter gaily in the wind. Bivouac on a mountainside. I see before me now a traveling army halting. Below, a fertile valley spread, with barns and the orchards of summer. Behind, the terraced sides of a mountain, abrupt, in places rising high, broken with rocks, with clinging cedars, with tall shapes dingily seen. The numerous campfires scattered near and far, some away up on the mountain. The shadowy forms of men and horses looming, large-sized, flickering, and over all the sky, far, far out of reach, studded, breaking out, the eternal stars. An army corps on the march, with its cloud of skirmishers in advance, with now the sound of a single shot snapping like a whip, and now an irregular volley. The swarming ranks press on and on. The dense brigades press on, glittering dimly, toiling under the sun. The dust-covered men in columns rise and fall to the undulations of the ground. With artillery interspersed, the wheels rumble, the horses sweat as the army corps advances. By the bivouac's fitful flame. By the bivouac's fitful flame, a procession winding around me, solemn and sweet and slow. But first I note the tents of the sleeping army, the fields and woods dim outlined, the darkness lit by spots of kindled fire, the silence, like a phantom far or near, an occasional figure moving, the shrubs and trees, as I lift my eyes, they seem to be stealthily watching me, while wind in procession thoughts, oh tender and wondrous thoughts, of life and death, of home and the past and loved, and of those that are far away. A solemn and slow procession, there as I sit on the ground, by the bivouac's fitful flame. Come up from the fields, Father.
Come up from the fields, Father. Here's a letter from our Pete. And come up to the front door, Mother. Here's a letter from thy dear son. Lo, 'tis autumn. Lo, where the trees, deeper green, yellower and redder, cool and sweet in Ohio's villages, with leaves fluttering in the moderate wind, where apples rise in the orchards hang, and grapes on the trellised vines. Smell you the smell of the grapes on the vines? Smell you the buckwheat where the bees were lately buzzing? Above all, lo, the sky so calm, so transparent after the rain, and with wondrous clouds. Below, too, all calm, all vital and beautiful, and the farm prospers well. Down in the fields all prospers well. But now from the fields come father. Come at the daughter's call, and come to the entry, mother. To the front door come right away. Fast as she can, she hurries, something ominous, her steps trembling. She does not tarry to smooth her hair nor adjust her cap. Open the envelope quickly. Oh, this is not our son's writing, yet his name is signed. Oh, a strange hand writes for our dear son. Oh, stricken mother's soul all swims before her eyes. Flashes with black, she catches the main words only. Sentences. Broken, gunshot wound in the breast, cavalry skirmish, taken to hospital, at present low, but will soon be better. Ah, now the signal figure to me, amid all, teeming and wealthy Ohio, with all its cities and farms, sickly white in the face and dull in the head, very faint, by the jamb of a door leans. Grieve not so, dear mother, the just-grown daughter speaks through her sobs. The little sisters huddle around, speechless and dismayed. See, dearest mother, the letter says Pete will soon be better. Alas, poor boy, he will never be better, nor maybe needs to be better, that brave and simple soul. While they stand at home at the door, he is dead already. The only son is dead, but the mother needs to be better. She, with thin form presently dressed in black. By day her meals untouched, then at night fitfully sleeping, often waking. In the midnight waking, weeping, longing with one deep longing, oh, that she might withdraw unnoticed, silent, from life escape and withdraw to follow, to seek, to be with her dear dead son.
Vigil strange I kept on the field one night. Vigil strange I kept on the field one night, when you, my son, and my comrade dropped at my side that day. One look I but gave, with your dear eyes returned with a look I shall never forget. One touch of your hand to mine, O boy, reached up as you lay on the ground. Then onward I sped in the battle, the even contested battle, till late in the night, relieved, to the place at last again I made my way. Found you in death, so cold, dear comrade. Found your body, son of responding kisses, never again on earth responding. Bared your face in the starlight, curious the scene, cool blew the moderate night wind. Long there, and then in vigil I stood, dimly around me the battlefield spreading. Vigil, wondrous, and vigil sweet there in the fragrant silent night. But not a tear fell, not even a long-drawn sigh. Long I gazed. Then on the earth, partially reclining, sat by your side, leaning my chin in my hands, passing sweet hours, immortal and mystic hours with you, dearest comrade. Not a tear, not a word. Vigil of silence, love and death, vigil for you, my son and my soldier. As onward silently stars aloft, eastward new ones upward stole. Vigil final for you, brave boy. I could not save you. Swift was your death. I faithfully loved you and cared for you living. I think we shall surely meet again. Till, at latest lingering of the night, indeed just as the dawn appeared, my comrade I wrapped in his blanket, enveloped well his form, folded the blanket well, tucking it carefully overhead and carefully under feet. And there, and then, and bathed by the rising sun, my son, in his grave, in his rude dug grave I deposited, ending my vigil strange with that, vigil of night and battlefield dim, vigil for boy of responding kisses never again on earth responding, vigil for comrade swiftly slain, vigil I never forget how, as day brightened, I rose from the chill ground and folded my soldier well in his blanket, and buried him where he fell. A march in the ranks hard pressed, and the road unknown. A march in the ranks hard pressed, and the road unknown, a route through a heavy wood, with muffled steps in the darkness. Our army foiled with loss severe, and the sullen remnant retreating, till after midnight glimmer upon us the lights of a dim-lighted building. We come to an open space in the woods, and halt by the dim-lighted building. 'Tis a large old church at the crossing roads, now an impromptu hospital. Entering but for a minute, I see a sight beyond all the pictures and poems ever made. Shadows of deepest black, just lit by moving candles and lamps, and by one great pitchy torch stationary with wind, red flame, and clouds of smoke. By these crowds, groups of forms vaguely I see on the floor, some in the pews laid down. At my feet more distinctly a soldier, a mere lad, in danger of bleeding to death. He is shot in the abdomen. I staunch the blood temporarily. The youngster's face is white as a lily. Then, before I depart, I sweep my eyes o'er the scene, fain to absorb it all. Faces, varieties, postures beyond description, most in obscurity, some of them dead. Surgeons operating, attendants holding lights, the smell of ether, odor of blood, the crowd, oh, the crowd of the bloody forms, the yard outside also filled, some of the bare of ground, some on planks or stretchers, some in a death spasm sweating, an occasional scream or cry, the doctor's shouted orders or calls, the glisten of the little steel instruments catching the glint of the torches. These, I presume, as I chant, I see again the forms, I smell the odor, then hear outside the orders given. Fall in, my men, fall in! But first I bend to the dying lad. His eyes open, a half smile gives he me. Then the eyes close, calmly close, and I speed forth to the darkness, resuming, marching, ever in darkness marching, on in the ranks. The unknown road, still marching. How much more is this book? Where are we? Oh, there is quite a lot left. Oh, this one is a doozy. We might not even finish this next time at this. Wow, okay. It makes sense. The Civil War was kind of a big deal. And if you lived through that time, there's a very good chance that, guess what? It was worth writing about. All right, let's just continue on, and we'll see how much, or how deep into this we can get. But this is a very stark difference from the earlier parts of the book. And as we were talking about earlier, this collection of poems is Walt Whitman's life, his soul distilled and put to pen on page. So there's, with anyone's life, particularly if you are to live through times as turbulent as these, it's not all going to be sunshine, ideals, and pretty words and love. But despite that, despite the darkness of the times that he's going through here, and the heavy subject matter that we're getting here, there are bits and pieces of compassion and love shining through, and still some optimism, despite the darkness of the subject, as we'd said. A sight in camp, in the daybreak gray and dim.
A sight in camp, in the daybreak grey and dim, as from my tent I emerge, so early sleepless. As slow I walk in the cool, fresh air, the path near by the hospital tent. 3 forms I see on stretchers lying, brought out there untended lying. Over each the blanket spread, ample brownish woolen blanket, grey and heavy blanket, folding, covering all. Curious, I halt and silent stand. Then with light fingers I, from the face of the nearest, the first, just lift the blanket. Who are you, elderly man, so gaunt and grim, with well-greyed hair, and flesh all sunken about the eyes? Who are you, my dear comrade? Then to the second I step. And who are you, my child and darling? Who are you, sweet boy, with cheeks yet blooming? Then to the third, a face, nor child nor old, very calm, as a beautiful yellow-white ivory. Young man, I think I know you. I think this face is the face of Christ himself, dead and divine and brother of all, and here again he lies. A note here. This isn't a white Jesus reference. This is finding the divine and finding the divine in the sacrifice of others. But it is worth noting. As toilsome I wandered Virginia's woods. As toilsome I wandered Virginia's woods, to the music of rustling leaves kicked by my feet. For 'twas autumn. I marked at the foot of a tree the grave of a soldier, mortally wounded he and buried in the retreat. Easily all could understand. The halt of a midday hour. When up! No time to lose yet, this sign left! On a tablet scrawled and nailed on the tree by the grave, bold, cautious, true, and my loving comrade. Long, long I muse. Then on my way go wandering. Many a changeful season to follow, and many a scene of life. Yet at times, through changeful season and scene, abrupt, alone, or in the crowded street, comes before me the unknown soldier's grave. Comes the inscription, rude in Virginia's woods. Bold, cautious, true, and my loving comrade. Not the pilot. Not the pilot has charged himself to bring his ship into port. Though beaten back and many times baffled, not the pathfinder penetrating inland weary and long, by deserts parched, snows chilled, rivers wet, perseveres till he reaches his destination. More than I have charged myself, heeded or unheeded, to compose march for these states. For a battle call, rousing to arms if need be, years, centuries hence. Year that trembled and reeled beneath me. Year that trembled and reeled beneath me. Your summer wind was warm enough, yet the air I breathed froze me. A thick gloom fell through the sunshine and darkened me. Must I change my triumphant songs? Said I to myself. Must I indeed learn to chant the cold dirges of the baffled, the sullen hymns of defeat? The wound dresser. An old man bending, I come among new faces. Years looking backward, resuming in answer to children. Come, tell us, old man, as from young men and maidens that love me. Aroused and angry, I thought to beat the alarm, and urged relentless war, but soon my fingers failed me. My face drooped, and I resigned myself to sit by the wounded and soothe them, or silently watch the dead.
Years hence of these scenes, of these furious passions, these chances, of unsurpassed heroes, was one side so brave, the other was equally brave. Now be witness again, point the mightiest armies of earth, of those armies so rapid, so wondrous. What saw you to tell us? What stays with you longest and deepest, of curious panics, of hard-fought engagements or sieges tremendous? What deepest remains? O maidens and young men I love and that love me, what you ask of my days, those the strangest and sudden your talking recalls. Soldier alert, I arrive after a long march covered with sweat and dust. In the nick of time I come, plunge in the fight, loudly shout in the rush of successful charge, enter the captured works, yet lo, like a swift-running river they fade, pass, and are gone, they fade. I dwell not on soldiers' perils or soldiers' joys, both I remember. Well, many the hardships, few the joys, yet I was content. But in silence, in dreams' projections, while the world of gain and appearance and mirth goes on, so soon what is over forgotten, and waves wash the imprints off the sand, with hinged knees returning, I enter the doors, while for you, up there, whoever you are, follow without noise, and be of strong heart. Bearing the bandages, water and sponge, straight and swift to my wounded I go, where they lie on the ground after the battle brought in, where their priceless blood reddens the grass, the ground, or to the rows of the hospital tent, or under the roofed hospital, to the long rows of cots up and down each side I return, to each and all, one after another I draw near, not one do I miss. An attendant follows holding a tray. He carries a refuse pail, soon to be filled with clotted rags and blood, emptied and filled again. I onward go, I stop, with the hinged knees and steady hand to dress wounds. I am firm with each. The pangs are sharp yet unavoidable. One turns to me his appealing eyes. Poor boy. I never knew you. Yet I think I could not refuse this moment to die for you, if that would save you. On I go, open doors of time, open hospital doors, the crushed head I dress, poor crazed hand, tear not the bandage away, the neck of the cavalryman with the bullet through and through, examine. Hard the breathing rattles, quite glazed already the eye, yet life struggles hard. Come, sweet death, be persuaded, O beautiful death, in mercy come quickly. From the stump of the arm, the amputated hand, I undo the clotted lint, remove the slaw, wash off the matter and blood. Back on his pillow the soldier bends with curved neck and side falling head. His eyes are closed, his face is pale, he dares not look on the bloody stump, and has not yet looked on it. I dress a wound in the side, deep, deep. But a day or two more, for see the frame all wasted and sinking in the yellow-blue countenance, see! I dress the perforated shoulder, the foot with the bullet wound, cleanse the one with the gnawing and putrid gangrene, so sickening, so offensive. While the attendant stands behind beside me, holding the tray and pail. I am faithful. I do not give out. The fractured thigh, the knee, the wound in the abdomen, these and more I dress with impassive hand, yet deep in my breast a fire, a burning flame. Thus, in silence, in dreams' projections, returning, resuming, I thread my way through the hospitals. The hurt and wounded I pacify with soothing hand. I sit by the restless all the dark night. Some are so young, some suffer so much. I recall the experience sweet and sad. Many a soldier's loving arms about this neck crossed and rested. Many a soldier's kiss dwells on these bearded lips. All right, guys, we've got ads about to kick off in about 10 seconds. So we will wrap up here. We did reach the end of this poem, so let's set a bookmark here. So we'll have a little bit of a yap when we get back. Let's decompress a little bit because this one deserves some discussion. And we'll be back as soon as these ads finish to wrap up. All right, we are back. Oh, Alan, thank you very much for rating. It is awkward timing. We're just getting ready to finish up, but thank you for coming along. Always welcome, no matter the timing. But we've been. I guess we might as well go through the spiel since you're here with your friends. Hi, I am Arthur Irving Rush. We read around here. That's actually all we do. Right now, we are reading through Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. I think I've done that as well. In fact, I've rated into at least one of Alan's streams as it's finishing. So, turnabout's fair play. But yeah, so we read all sorts of things. On Saturdays, we read modern books it's our unarchived series, so we won't have VODs for those, but right now we're reading through Fahrenheit 451 on our Saturdays. That actually is a much shorter book than we're going through, so I imagine we'll probably finish that next time, now that I'm thinking about it. In our weekdays and Sundays, we're right now getting through with Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass, and we just got through probably about half of the section of the book, the collection of poems, wherein Walt was talking about the Civil War, and I was just about to sort of expound a little bit on how very different tonight's reading has felt from so much of what we've read from Whitman so far. In the first few sessions, I think this is our 6th session so far reading this, but in our first few, it was remarkable how optimistic, uplifting, and at the same time full of sort of a patriotism that was unexpected from a man like Walt Whitman. You may or may not know, Whitman is one of the more prominent gay, pan, etc. Authors in early American lit. And as such, he has every right to be jaded and angry about really just about fucking anything. But throughout this book, we've been time and time again shocked by how uplifting, positive, relentlessly positive even, the poems have come across. It's been great. I've loved it. Every night is a surprise and is refreshing. Sometimes in dark days, a little bit of positivity like this is an unexpected and very welcome surprise. But tonight, we've reached the part, I should probably reframe this. Leaves of Grass is basically a distillation of Whitman's life. It's his collection of poems as he's gone through the years. It's his life's work put down to pen. And as such, we're getting through the different phases of his life, and now we're seeing the Civil War through a poet's eyes. And it is poignant. He's very much taking it mostly an agnostic view, but definitely from a northerner's perspective. He's a Manhattan man, and has a Union stint, for which I love him. It's always nice to find someone who is on the right side of history. But despite that, his depictions and poems here are from the soldier's perspective. The struggles and tribulations of people that are in way over their heads. Young boys and old men. Loss, danger, existential dread. Families who have lost people. So it's a very stark change from the rest of the book that we've read so far, which, if anything, makes it more poignant. I mean, whose life is all sunshine and roses, right? If this is a life story put down in between the pages, what's a story without a few storm clouds, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's about all the dissection that we get into. We decompress a little bit at the end of our readings. I try not to stop in the middle of our readings to analyze things, but sometimes a night's reading is particularly poignant, and I do have to decompress a little before we finish. And that's one of the benefits of doing a reading stream like this. I have a platform. I have a podium that I can go out and spit out my thoughts. Ha 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 ha. Okay, yeah, that's not a good joke, I understand. But yeah, that's really where we're going tonight. So I think we are, as always, at the end of my streams, I do prefer to raid over into other readers. Probably a lot like Alan and Bill does. Kind of, Twitch is a small community of readers, and it is good to share the love amongst each other. So I'll go ahead and look for someone that we can raid into, see if we can pass this train along. Let's see. Exactly! Jackson's got it. I can talk, so people must listen to me. Ha ha! It's not a healthy viewpoint, but dag nabbit. If I'm a VTuber, it's what I'm going to do. And welcome. You came along with Alan. I hope you, I realize you caught the tail end of this, so you're not going to get any of the reading, but I hope you've enjoyed your time here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do try and have all sorts of different little voices and quirks, by the way, for different characters that come through, but this is the general, more neutral tone. So I appreciate that you like it. Thank you. Let's see. Ooh, you know what?
we have not rated Jev in a little bit, and she is a fantastic lady. If you guys aren't aware of her, she may be one that Alan has rated before. Jev is a Kiwi, a New Zealand lady, basically everyone's favorite great aunt, and she is reading right now. She's reading The Adventures of a Kite by Harriet Myrtle. She's a lot of fun, and I do try to rate into her from time to time. So I will get this get this prepped up, and we'll go through our wrap up tonight. We'll get out of our reading nook here. So, for those of you who are either joining us for the first time or have been here for a while, thank you for joining us. We always here stream both on YouTube and Twitch, so whichever platform you find most comfortable, you're more than welcome to join us. All of our VODs from the very beginning of the channel, about a year and a half ago now, are up on YouTube and available, so you can go back through and find whatever sort of book you like. We read all sorts of things, and have some background noise, catch up on some great literature, or just catch some scuff from an old man who doesn't know what he's doing. So, if you're over on YouTube, a subscription or a like on any of the streams are a wonderful way to let the algorithm know that we're up doing some fun things and send some friends our way. If you are on Twitch, thanks for joining us. A follow is a fantastic way to keep tabs on what we're doing and follow along on our journey through literature, both new and classical. Where was he going? Wandering off. If you're new here, by the way, we have, you may see on screen here, we've got our two fuzzy friends that generally will visit us on stream. We've got both of them pictured here, but we've got Zoe and Simba. And generally, whenever either one of them, or both, are hanging around the desk, they're also on screen with me here. They are. So, all right. Alan, thank you for rating in. I'm sorry to have the train pass on along, but I've been going for 2 hours. I'm a little tired. So, we're going to be rating over to Jev NZ, who is a lovely, lovely woman. I hope you give her our very best wishes as we join her in her reading of Adventures of a Kite. Until next time, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Area, which is northern New Zealand. Some of the more northern great to see you. Thank you for raiding with your friends. Lovely to have you all here. We are moving